A couple days ago, I shared my brutal endgame Berserker build that deals insane amounts of damage with a two-handed weapon, but get a lot of requests for a new archer build to dominate the new Wake of Water update, so here it is. Introducing my Deadly Ranger build to rain heavy-hitting arrows upon your foes, with both piercing and magical damage. Pretty much deal with any situation from a safe distance that also comes with a very high maneuverability, survivability and utility to dominate the endgame content. In today's guide I'm gonna share everything you want to know about it, so let's get right to it. A quick reminder, as G-Portal partner I can give you a nice discount on servers, not only for Enshrouded but for many other games. Be sure to check out my link in the description to seal your nice deal and have your server set up and ready in no time. So, let's get straight down to business with first the armor, like I shared with my previous build as well. It's important that you don't craft parts of one specific set, you actually want to make a combination of different ones. This is going to help you maximize your damage output and survivability. I'm going to share the do's and don'ts right after covering all set parts. So let's first check out the helmet. We have the Quetzal Hunter helmet right here, as it comes with a nice balance of ranged critical strike chance and also critical strike damage. So you're gonna crit more frequently and those are gonna deal much more damage. For the chest piece, I have the Quetzal Hunter chest plate. This one comes with a nice balance of both HP and stamina, while the other one, I don't think it's a good idea. Then we also have the gloves. This time Skullstalker gloves, as it comes with a nice bonus to bow damage and also skill shot damage. Skill shots are your headshots basically, so you're gonna deal more damage with that. I think it's pretty easy to land these. For the leg guards, I also have the Quetzal Hunter pants, nice amount of stamina right here, and also sprint speed. So it's gonna be much easier to explore the world when you're on foot, also when you're sprinting away from enemies, let's say. Then we also have the Skullstalker shoes. A nice amount of stamina and stamina regeneration. Big surprise, I once again used the Ring of Thundersnow. 2 times because the mana regen on this is crazy. Also increased shock damage, and with the bow I'm gonna talk about in a second, this is actually gonna be amazing. Shock resistance is not very interesting, but 2 of these are going to give you a very nice amount of mana regen, which you're going to need to not only use our updraft of the glider, but also specific arrows. Anyways, as shield, I still have the golden bulwark shield equipped. You will almost exclusively use this for blocking when you have a torch equipped, while we also have a sword equipped this time, and if we just left click, we can actually kick people in the abyss, which is super satisfying. So very nice to combine with this build. Also comes with increased critical strike chance, more critical strike damage, more chance and more shock right here, while the bow itself is the Temple Keeper's bow. Also magical shock damage, critical strike chance, backstab damage. The final 2 upgrades are increased magic shock damage once again, and also Headseeker that restores stamina on skill shots, so the headshots. The gem which I've put in the Temple Keeper's bow is a gem of Lycanthropy, which you can find in one specific Night Sanctum. If we open the map for a second, well, this is where you want to go. The Lacemaker Pond, the very southern part of it, this is where you can find a Night Sanctum. The golden chest, which you can find in one of the rooms, comes with a gem of Lycanthropy, which you can pick up as much as you like, and of course also upgrade. Gonna be amazing to get a nice stat bump for pretty much all sorts of attributes. In this new update, you can also pick up a different type of gem called the Gem of Aerobatics with simply projectile piercing damage. Could be interesting. The Gem of Currents can also be an interesting alternative, as it comes with additional weapon shock damage. Almost a 50% chance on this level to trigger, while it's going to be much higher if you level it up. And this is why you don't want to focus on other parts of the armor sets. So right here we have the Quetzal Hunter chest. Very nice combo of both HP and stamina. 72 and 180. If we look at this chest though, only 72 stamina and 7 seconds of rested. You can already get a very high amount of this if you just spend some time at your base, so I think it's not an interesting alternative at all. While if we look at the Quetzal Hunter gloves, they come with range damage and damage against ranged enemies. So that's only going to be a damage modifier for a small portion of foes, while if we look at the Skullstalker, skill shot and bow damage is going to be much more relevant. Stamina and sprint speed, that's amazing. If we look at this one right here, comes with stamina regeneration. If we quickly check out my attributes right here, you can see that we have a very nice amount of mana regeneration, and our stamina regen is already on over 300. So that extra 18 is really not gonna make a difference. For the boots though, the stamina and stamina regen is gonna be nice. Well, on this one right here, we have stamina regen delay. If you want, you can take this as alternative, but still, I think the boots are much better. A reminder, you should never prioritize items for their looks, as you can simply customize your appearance by checking out this menu. I still have the Sunpiercer gloves equipped because these look so much better compared to the Ranger sets, while I also have the Siren Seeker pants and Golden Bulwark boots combo. I don't know, the baggy pants and slippers, they just look really nice. If you want to get your hands on a max level bow, I very much recommend you to check out these chest farms. I covered these in earlier videos, but simply put, the Gateway Outpost and Flame, the Cromwell Throne Room, and Cromwell itself is a very nice place with a big cluster of legendary chests with items of the highest level. Farm this every hour or two, and you should be able to get your hands on a nice level bow in no time. The Guard of the North Sword can also be picked up around these parts, so let me quickly show you the run which I always do to get my hands on all these legendaries. So this is the first chest right here with a Golden War Hero X. It's always there. Very nice for the build which we've talked about earlier. I'm gonna quickly jump on top of this roof, get my hands on the secondary chest which you can find right here. Here we go. Ancient Drag ones, nothing interesting. I'm gonna quickly break through the wall or window right here. And pick up that other chest. Well, you've seen it. It's right there. I'm gonna just go ahead and quickly check out the bottom floor. Take out my pickaxe. We can always just use a lockpick, but this also makes it easy to enter the secret room. Right here you can find a unique armor piece, the flaming gauntlets, and sometimes also equipment, the legendary crystal knives this time. So that's basically the run for Gateway Outpost and Flame. Right now, we're gonna check out Cromwell and Cromwell Throne Room. That's why I very much recommend you to place a flame shrine high in the mountains. First off, what you should do is just glide inside this little church area, let's say. Jump through the roof, take out the wasp, and then use the grappling hook right here to reach your first legendary chest with, ooh, this time an avalanche starter inside. Let's go. This is also a very nice one. Wait a second, with 2 times magic ice damage. Wow, this is actually what I was looking for. That's super lucky. Anyways, we've got another chest right here with a Violet Storm inside, which is on the attic floor inside this bigger room right there. And right now we're gonna basically just take out our pickaxe. So we're gonna run to the throne room itself, then take a turn to the left, make a U-turn, open a door right here with a lockpick, and at the very end, in this target debby, you will find the Guard of the North Sword. So, GG. That's the exact location. Anyways, leave the throne room, updraft, and land on this platform. Take out your axe, grappling hook, double jump across, and bam! There you have another legendary chest. Break the window right here. Man, these runs are so easy. I'm gonna quickly updraft and take another legendary chest exactly right here, with this time only a mythic wand. Updraft, that's why we have all that mana and mana regen. Jump inside this one right here. Pick up another chest with this time 2 inside, also not bad. And then we're gonna just fly to this roof right here, which you can either open with a lockpick. I like to be just a little bit lazy today. Jump down and voila, there you have another chest. As you can see, we got our hands on 6 legendary items during this farm run. It's without doubt one of, if not the best run as of today. While we even left behind some equipment, so yes, definitely one to do if you want to secure some amazing weapons like the Avalanche Starter. And wow, I can't wait to check it out with the magic ice damage. Wait a second, I actually already have one right here. Wow, that's so typical. Anyways, Drag Whistle Bow, also a nice one as it comes with magical shock damage. So let's go and check out the skill points. I memorized everything and we can just go ahead and refund. I currently have over 170 points, as you can see. And now you're probably thinking, oh boy, this is a very late game build. But that's not the case. You can already gain access to most of the essentials early to mid game, while some attribute bonuses which you pick up are just going to make it deal much more damage, which is only really relevant once you've reached the endgame zone as well. So first off, I want you to take the utility essentials for mining, gathering resources, etc. So you want to pick up the lumberjack, the miner, the quality gear, and the mason. So basically make all this more efficient and lose durability slower. Then we also have the fisherman's resolve right here, an optional one. So you can save 5 skill points if you don't choose it. Anyways, right here we also want to focus on increasing our backstab damage. Merciless attack is not going to be interesting, as that's only relevant when you're using melee and block, let's say. So we're just going to go with sneak attack, backstab damage, and opportunity. Nope. All this not really relevant. You don't want to propel yourself towards large enemies or make ranged enemies fly towards you, as you can simply shoot them out of the sky. Anyways, next up, you also want to take all the dex upgrades right here. Endurance, also cool. We're gonna take the airborne, so gliders consume less stamina, and the updraft. This is also an interesting one. Simply take the silent stride to increase your movement speed while sneaking, and pick up the kick. When equipped with a melee weapon, you can perform a kick while attacking with a shield. When equipped with a melee weapon, you can perform a kick by attacking while blocking. It barely deals any damage, but it's super satisfying to execute. See it as your own Spartan kick, but oh, make sure you don't die yourself in the process. That was some pretty poor placement. But hey, you get the point, that's your Spartan kick. Also optional, still though I think it's a very fun one. Now, also interesting for maneuverability, you want to pick up the endurance right here. Then go for runner, sprinting increased by 10 and stamina cost decreased by 10 as well. Take the double jump. You can go for the crash down force right here, which I don't really think is necessary. Same counts for the crash down attack. When equipped with a melee weapon, you can perform a jump during your descent. So that's going to be nice. Same counts for this one, the upward slash attack. But it's all really melee stuff that you don't want to waste points on, especially if you want to rush towards the good stuff, which we're going to talk about right now. So this is going to really make your build deal a lot of damage as archer or ranger, let's say. Pick up the marksman. Ranged weapon damage is increased by 10%. Don't go for the snake eater. Also take the Eagle Eye, as it allows you to zoom in on your foes, should make it easier to hit those. Wow, that was actually nice. Increase damage against ranged enemies by another 15%. Ranged weapon damage increased by 20%. Eagle's Bane damage against flying enemies is increased by 30%. We've got the skill shot damage right here. Take Ranger for all the attribute bonuses. And also the Bee Sting, I think it's a very nice one, because right now, if you aim in the sky, you basically fall slowly. Also take multi-shot, as then you have a 20% chance to shoot multiple arrows that actually gonna deal much more damage. See it as your shotgun ability. Go for multi-shot spread. And optionally, not essential, the multi-shot trigger. You can also make this happen with special arrows. This is something you want to consider when you have a lot of those special arrows. Explosive arrows, for example, as they're pretty expensive, and if you don't want them to deplete super fast, then this is definitely a no-go. Anyways, moving on to the next skill tree right here, we've got endurance, so that's going to be more stamina, more ranged weapon critical strike chance. With blessed arrows, you restore mana. Right here, we can restore stamina with it. Increase your dex for even more damage. I don't take this one for the same reason, because I barely ever or don't craft special arrows because they're just super expensive, and I think regular arrows will already do the job just fine. I mean, with this build you're gonna hit like a truck, so all that is not really relevant. Not important at all, but we're simply gonna take this one to get the graceful stride, gain 1 point of dexterity for every 2 levels of the flame. You can take the endurance right here, but don't go for chain reaction. So now that we've covered almost all the standard range damage, it's time to move on to the more interesting magical types of damage, both shock and ice, with also an extra maneuverability spell, which I think is essential for you guys. You can choose between intelligence or intelligence right here. But successfully parrying an enemy attack restoring mana is going to be more interesting compared to the healer, so go for this one. It also allows you to go for evasion attack when equipped with a melee weapon, but don't waste points on this, only if you want to have a hybrid ranged melee build, let's say. Battle heal is interesting right here, but again, I exclusively focus on blink, replaces your dodge roll ability with a short range teleport, and especially go with emergency blink. I think this one is amazing, as if you happen to walk in a trap or something, get stunned, you can just easily blink out of it and you're safe. Anyways, right now, the damage. So you want to pick up the Spirit right here. Increases your mana by 20 per attribute point. So we're going to get more of that. Also go for This Is the Way. That's nothing too fancy, but remember that our weapons come with a regular type of damage and also the shock damage. Both the Temple Keeper bow and the Guard of the North sword. Cutting damage, shock damage right here. So yeah, this is the way. Next up, you want to pick up the Spirit right here to increase your mana even further. And right now it's really up to whatever bow you want to use. Do you want to go with shock damage, fire damage, or ice damage? This is where you can increase your damage with that by using Iceman. All ice damage is increased by 20%. When receiving melee damage, the attacker will be slowed down for 5 seconds. Also a very nice one if you want to go with a Frost Ranger build. Ice resistance, nope, nope, nope. Don't go with any of that. I'm gonna go with Thunder, as we're gonna focus on increasing our shock damage. We further benefit from this because of our shock rings. Lightning gives us another 20% increased intelligence, so that increases our magic damage. Wizard gives us magic weapon critical strike chance. I'm not sure if this also applies to bows. Guys, if you've done some testing, it would be amazing if you can share that with us, because I do think that this is exclusively for staves and wands. Same for the chain hit. Critical strikes with these weapons will automatically hit a second enemy. So yeah, chain lightning basically. We've got mass destruction. Again, this is all experimental. I'd love to know if you did more testing with it, but that's basically what I like to focus on with this shock ranger build, let's say. The shock damage is optional. The reason why we take it is because we've basically used up all the dex points you can pick up. There are a couple more which you can find like super far in some trees, but right now we're gonna move on to extra survivability and maneuverability, and a little bit of damage as well. So right here we've got endurance, pick that up, reduce your stamina cost. We've got defeating an enemy with a bow, also gives you a chance of a stamina orb, pick that up for the backstab damage increment by 30% right here. Don't go for the Shroud Time, I think it's useless. Good metabolism, health, mana, and stamina orbs restore extra. That's also a very nice one. If you want, you can go for the 3 rebounds to further increase your base stam regen, but essentially you want to pick up the Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth will massively increase its regeneration, so I think an amazing one. Pick up the dex right here as well, and the Dessert Stomach. Now you can eat a total of 4 snacks instead of 3, which can give you a lot more HP, mana, stamina, regeneration of all sorts. I think an essential one, which I also talked about in my previous build video. Everyone should roll this. And then we also have the last meal. Your food buffs persist through death. The reason why we take that is because now, if we happen to die, we really don't have to worry about, losing all those bonuses. Especially the endgame dishes require a lot of ingredients to cook them. If you happen to die frequently, that's gonna cost you hours and hours of farming. So yeah, I'd say this is a must-have for any situation, any build basically. And now we still have 20 points left. Honestly, I think you should focus on even more survivability right now. We already have the Fisherman's Resolve, which leads us to the Feast. So simply pick up the Constitution. I mean, you don't even need the Fisherman's Resolve, but Constitution gives you more HP. Take the Warrior's Path, increase your melee damage, but take the Feast. Now the meat which you eat increases your HP by another 15%. And we always eat meat. So as you can see, we've distributed points in a whole lot of different classes, but this really makes this build shine. And we still have 14 points left. Right here at Beastmaster, we can pick up 2 more dexterity to increase our damage by another 10%, but we're gonna need to pick up other stuff that really isn't relevant for this build, so I don't know. I think you should pick up some more intelligence as it can increase your magical damage. We've got more spirit right here. Constitution is definitely going to be nice to give you more HP. More intelligence, and we still have 10 more points available. There are really different kinds of things you can do right here, like focus on the water aura to heal yourself over time based on your intelligence attributes, and we can also go for Iceman to increase our ice damage. I actually think this is not a bad idea, so you can basically use this magical arrow for as much as you like. The Eternal Frost Arrow, which never depletes. It does cost a little bit of mana, but with all the attribute bonuses we took earlier, you can really use it as much as you like, so you don't have to worry about crafting yourself arrows, which only come with piercing damage. And even better, the Avalanche Starter also comes with 2 times magic ice damage, which we talked about earlier, so this combination helps you to really get the most out of the magical ice damage. Alternatively, Shock Temple Keeper Bow, both I think are going to be really nice. The arrows themselves, you can basically craft these at the Huntress. You want to search for ammo right here and scroll down a little bit. This is where you can find the special ones. For Eternal Frost Arrow 2, you're going to need some Enshrouded Cyclops Eyes, Steel Bars, and Ice. I think the Enshrouded Cyclops Eye can be found in the Albany Summit if you simply check out this place, which is, well, southeast of the Gateway Outpost Celeste. Right there, you should be able to find a bridge with this type of enemy that will always drop the eye. But yeah, if you want to use standard arrows, that's totally fine as well. You can go with the golden steel arrows or the poisoned golden steel arrows. Both are nice, but I think this one right here is just super expensive to make. And these are already a pain, as you're gonna need steel bars, not a lot of them, but especially the gold dust. You're gonna have to wait 8 minutes for it to be finished, and that's for just 1 gold dust. I mean, you're gonna need 2 gold dust for just a couple arrows, so I don't know. Arrow crafting, especially towards the end game, becomes increasingly more difficult. That's why I like to focus on magical arrows, as you can really shoot them as much as you like. And with these bonuses, yeah, they're gonna deal nice damage as well. So win. Now there is only one more thing to talk about, and that's the snacks, which you can make at the farmer. So there are different types of dishes you can take for the ranger builds, and chicken soup is probably the best. It's the best meat that comes with ranged damage. All the rest doesn't come with this, while the crab cakes do come with increased damage against wildlife and wild beasts. That's gonna be an amazing modifier, but only interesting for specific mobs. Chicken soup, hands down the best one, but I don't go with it, because I also like to go with health regeneration, as with this build it becomes more difficult to recover HP over time, because we don't find health orbs all the time. That's why I like to go with a beef stew. It comes very close to the amazing 200 HP you can get from the crab cakes, but the 12 health regeneration doesn't pop up at any other meat dish. I remember with our skills that 240 HP actually becomes 15% more. On supplies health regen, you can find even more of this, which aren't really interesting in my opinion. You want to simply just rush your way to stamina regen. What I don't really like about stamina regen snacks is that all of them come with a very low amount. I mean, as you can see, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes once again. This one, 5 minutes, and Honey Baked Banana, very nice amount of stamina regen, as you can see. So I love this snack, I always take it with me. That's basically your sweet you want to focus on, as this value, the crazy 85, already gets increased by 50% with the skill we talked about earlier. Then we also have some magic damage right here. I'd say this is an essential snack for this specific build, as it gives you a very nice amount of extra magic damage, mana regeneration, and further increases your total mana. I mean, all these values are super good. And the fact that these are all mushroom type of snacks also allows us to eat another type of food, the vegetable, or of course a fish food. I like to go with the taro root curry as well, as it comes with even more mana and also 21% ranged damage. But still, you can go for the pumpkin soup as well to slightly decrease those values but get more stamina regen. I think we already have plenty of that. And last but not least, you can also go with the delicious grilled fish with coconut rice. That's a lot of soup kind of dishes, so a lot of liquid in your tummy, but you'll absolutely love the bonuses for this build. Oh, one last thing, I'm gonna ask it again. Developers, it would be awesome if you can finally find a way so we can sear our fish fillets. Otherwise, the coconut rice is not gonna be a dish we'll be able to cook. So yeah, big thanks if you wanna look into that. Right now though, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you a lot of fun with the build because that's everything you need to know about it. If you have more questions or video suggestions, do leave me in the comments. I am always happy to help. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you a lot of fun with this build. I'll check you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace.